Imagine being at the age of 15, full of life and excitement, embarking on a school trip with friends to New Caledonia. That was Brenda Lin's reality on July 17, 2009. Back in Australia in New South Wales, Brenda had a loving family eagerly awaiting her return. A family she expected to reunite with in just a week's time. Brenda's dad dropped her off at the airport earlier and handed her a phone, asking Brenda to call him once she arrived in New Caledonia so that he would know she was safe. But Brenda, being a teenager at the time, thought it wasn't cool to call her dad right away. Little did she know, this small decision would mean that she would never have a chance to speak to her dad again, as fate decided that Brenda would become an overnight orphan. On the next day, July 18, 2009, Brenda learned through social media that her entire family had been brutally murdered.
Brenda Lin was only 15 years old when her entire family was murdered.
In this episode, we will find out who committed this sickening act and the shocking reasons behind the murders. The Lin family lives in North Epping in New South Wales, Australia. Min Lin and his wife Yun Lin had built a happy life for themselves and their children, Henry, Terry, and Brenda. They ran a successful news agency and were well liked in their community. Min Lin and his wife Yun Lin, also known as Lily, were dedicated parents, working tirelessly 7 days a week to provide the best opportunities for their children's future. In the early hours of July 18, 2009, a mysterious male figure arrived at the Lin family home. It appears that he had knowledge of the layout of the house and had disabled the electricity supply before entering the house with a key. He went upstairs and entered the room of Min Lin and his wife Lily. He then proceeded to brutally murder the couple while they were sleeping, using a hammer-like weapon and a blunt object. He then turned to his next victim, Yun Bin Lin, who was Min's sister, and delivered her the same fate as her brother. After tragically ending Yun Bin Lin's life, he continued his horrific spree, entering the room where Henry and Terry were sleeping. Despite Henry being only 12 years old and Terry being only 9 years old, he decided to rob them of their lives as well by bludgeoning them to death. After taking the lives of Henry and Terry, the killer, seemingly aware that Brenda Lin was not home, chose to leave her room untouched and made his way out of the house. On the morning of July 18, 2009, at approximately 9 a.m., Robert Z and his wife Kathy noticed that the Lin family's news agency was not open, which was highly unusual. Unable to contact Min or Lily, Robert and Kathy decided to go to the Lin family home to investigate. Upon their arrival, they discovered the gruesome murder scene. Kathy, in a state of hysteria, contacted the police to report the incident.
Hello, I need an ambulance to 55A Boundary Road.
What
Epping
suburb?
North.
What
Epping
suburb?
North.
Epping
Epping
North.
North.
Just let me find it here. What corner street's closest?
Close Back Street.
Close to...
Epping North Oval Park.
So it's 55A Boundary Road, Epping North, and it's a house?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah, the
What's
house.
wrong?
Yeah. Pardon?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
I'm not sure someone. I think I'm not sure.
You need to tell me why you need an ambulance. What's wrong?
Yeah, I think someone died. I'm not sure.
Why do you think someone's dying?
I don't know.
You need to tell me something. You're asking for an ambulance, but why?
Yeah, I also need a place.
Yeah, why? What's wrong?
basically because I think someone would die.
Yeah, you need to say why. What have you seen or heard that makes you think someone is going to die?
Mom, please.
What is wrong? Don't scream. Just answer my questions. What's wrong?
Once reported in the media, this tragedy shocked the entire nation, drawing wide community support for those related to the victims, including the parents of Min Lin. After learning of the tragic news through social media, Brenda, the devastated teenager, hurried back home to mourn the loss of her entire immediate family. Now an orphan, she was sent to live with her aunt and uncle, Kathy and Robert Z, who then became Brenda's legal guardians. The police established Strikeforce Norben to coordinate the investigation. The investigation into the Lin family massacre was exhaustive and spanned several years. Authorities sifted through evidence and conducted numerous interviews. Key highlights from the investigation were that, by the end of 2009, no suspect had yet been identified by the authorities. Between 2010 to 2011, initial suspicion grew on Robert Z due to his strange behaviour and statements he provided to the police. On one occasion, Robert told police that seeing the home where the bodies were discovered had frightened him and described Min Lin as a friend. Yet Robert seemed unaffected and cavalier about his tragic death. Police also found bloodied shoe prints at the scene that were consistent with the Asics sneakers that Robert wore. However, Robert's wife, Kathy Lin, insisted that Robert was with her at the time of the murders. Another disturbing revelation was that Robert was allegedly sexually attracted to his niece, Brenda Lin. With suspicion mounting on Robert, he became a prime suspect, and police obtained legal authorization to install surveillance cameras inside Robert's home without his knowledge. Surveillance footage recorded Robert cutting up shoebox, which the police interpreted as a potential consciousness of guilt. Additionally, a small bloodstain, known as Stain 91, was found on Robert's garage floor, which contained DNA from 4 of the Lin family victims. Finally, after an extensive investigation, police officially charged and arrested Robert Z with the murder of the Lin family on May 5, 2011. Multiple trials were conducted to convict Robert Z because of several instances of hung juries, along with delays caused by health issues of the judge. Robert Z was granted bail on December 8, 2015, due to a combination of factors, including his health issues, the prolonged nature of the legal proceedings, and the assessment that he was not a flight risk. During the trials, additional key information that came to light was that Robert sedated his wife before leaving their bed and creeping into the Lin residence, which was only 300 metres away from where Robert lives. Robert was motivated by his perceived inferior status in the Lin family, supported by evidence of an inmate who recorded Robert speaking disparagingly of Min Lin. Robert was also attracted to his young niece, Brenda, and wanted her to live in his home. On January 12, 2017, Robert Z was found guilty of 5 counts of murder and was handed 5 consecutive life sentences, one for each of the family members he bludgeoned to death.
The 5 sentences for life handed down a short time ago in the Supreme Court of New South Wales represents justice for Min, Lily, Irene, Henry and Terry Lin.
In 2021, Robert lost an appeal against his murder convictions, meaning he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Amidst the darkness of tragedy, Brenda discovered resilience and purpose, pulling herself from despair to rediscover joy and purpose in life. Fortunately, Brenda had supportive individuals like her high school principal, Susan Bridge, who offered guidance and assistance during her darkest days.
I have said to her, some time ago now, that it is my dearest wish that one day she will invite me to her wedding and that one day I can attend the christening of her child, because she will make a wonderful mother and she will start a fabulous family.
At present, Brenda has devoted her life to helping others navigate through trauma. Brenda has founded the Survivor Hub and established it across 12 locations in New South Wales and Victoria. This charitable organisation is aimed at providing support and assistance to those who have endured the trauma of sexual assault. Simultaneously, Brenda is pursuing her doctoral degree in the field of criminology and rehabilitation in youth justice at the University of Sydney. Through her efforts, Brenda Lin has become an inspirational figure, using her own experiences to advocate for others and provide support and healing to those who have experienced similar tragedies.